What's up? It's your girl Nancy K, coming back with my second YouTube video. So I've been gone away. So the title of this video is gonna be mental health, just a mental health video, not in the sense of just a mental health check-in. You know, why I do my hair, because I have somewhere to be in the morning during work. So I haven't got my hair done yet because I'm going to the Chris Brown concert on the 30th in Orlando. So I just don't feel like getting my hair done twice. So yeah, you know how that goes. So I'm gonna just flat iron my real hair. I haven't done that in a very, very, very long time. When I say very long time, I have not done my hair. I don't do my hair. I just go get my hair done. But I don't know. And plus I just wanted to talk and vent about things and stuff like that. So while I do that, we can talk, and you know, guys can get to know me better, because you know, I am a shy person, but I'm not shy, but I am shy. So you know, just stay tuned. All right, so we're back. All right, so oof, Lord, look at my hair. All right, so I had bariatric surgery in February of 2024. February 16th of 2024. I was 396 pounds when I had surgery. I think that, or a little bit, I think 395. I don't know. It was one of them. So I was like maybe like 3 to 4 pounds to 400 or max. So it really doesn't matter. I'm gonna round it off to the nearest 10. I was 400 pounds. Like, I don't even remember. Okay, so I have lost so far and today is August. Hold on. Let me see what today is. Today is August 21st. No, I'm lying. It's September 21st. The days are just going. So it is September 21st, and I think I weigh, and I haven't bought a scale because I was so obsessed with the scale situation. So I didn't want to be bothered with, I threw away the scale because I was so paranoid about the scale. I think I weigh myself every freaking day. I don't know if you guys do it, just in this whole bariatric, it's just overwhelming. So in the midst of that, so I was, just know I was obsessed with it. But yeah, so it was about it, or whatever the case may be. And it just worked out. Health-wise, it just worked out. So I've lost, I think, over 100 and maybe like 120, 130 so far. But I feel like I could have lost more, but I just feel like when March came around, I think I just kind of got content of how I started looking, and I just been big all my life. So you know how you just been big all your life, and you just kind of like, once you lose a certain kind of weight at over 100 pounds, you just kind of feel content. Like, I started feeling content, but that's not the goal that I want, because my goal is to be, my doctor's goal is to be 170, but my goal is to be at least 220 to 200. I don't want to be that skinny. I don't want to be that small. I don't want to be in the 100 club. I don't know why I feel like that. I think it's because I've gotten so comfortable being in over 200 pounds all my life that I just feel like if I'm under 200 pounds, I kind of feel like, you know, because I'm Haitian, so, you know, they will automatically, quote unquote, feel like you're sick. So I just always just been okay with just being over, you know, over 200 pounds. But I have to get my mindset out of that. That's not the way to go. So it's not the way to go, and I get that. So, you know, and, you know, so I stopped slowing down on, you know, just the whole thing about just trying to, you know, work out. The workout just it went from 4 days a week to 3 days a week until 1 day a week, and I just stopped going. And that's just something like, you know, everybody keeps telling me that's naturally happen. You just get a break. Plus my birthday came around because I am a Pisces. So my birthday is in February. So I just I started like, once I started hanging out again, and I started like hanging out, and I started just going out and drinking a lot, I think, you know, the weight progress just started stagnating. That's just what I think. Personally think that's what's going on. So I feel like I should have been right now, because it's been a year and a year and a half, and I am probably like at 275. I struggle between 275 278. In the last, I want to say, 6 months, I've been stagnant there. I would either gain 10 pounds or lose 10 pounds. That's how it's been. Gain 10, lose 10. Gain 10, lose 10. In which it started like breaking down my mental, but I have to take accountability that I have not done what I need to do. And plus, I started like eating regular, and I started like eating, drinking, you know, and just forgetting that I had a purpose. And I think that's cool. But in the meantime, between time, you know, that's just life. I guess that's how you just want to say it. It's just life about, you know, I'm human. So in the midst of all of that, you know, and then towards the end, I think, and then the summertime came about, and then I just started hanging out all summer. So when I started hanging out all summer, because I was baby free, because, you know, mommy need me time too, I just kind of just fell off the map when it came to working out. I probably worked out maybe once a month. And I started eating regular, going out to brunch, just hanging and having a good time. Well, now, you know, towards the end of, you know, the summer, like around July, I just started feeling like depressed. Like, I just started feeling depressed. I wasn't myself. I just kind of like went into a shell, you know, just went into a shell. I just didn't want to be bothered with nobody. I started distancing, you know, I just started distancing myself and things like that. I don't know, you know, usually I grew up Haitian. So, you know, if you're Haitian, you understand, like, you know, mental health and just, you know, the whole stamina of just like, you know, not being yourself and being, like feeling like, you know, depressed is not really a thing and you know, in my culture, you know, like being depressed or telling your parents that, oh, you're going through a lot and things like that, they don't understand that. Like, that's not something that's like, oh yeah, you're okay, you need therapy and all this other stuff. They don't think about that. They don't care about that. That's not something, you know, they really don't care. And I'm okay with that. You know, I grew up with a strong, you know, my mom taught me how to be like very strong, and I consider it like Ford tough, like the car. So I don't let a lot of things affect me. But this summer here, like in July, I kind of just got into the point that I just, you know, I just wanted to like shut out the world, like. And, you know, and you being a parent, you cannot shut off the world, because you have to be a parent at the end of the day. You know, at the end of the day, you have to be a mom. You can't, I just feel like regardless if you have a teenager, you have a middle schooler, high schooler, they just don't understand that you're going through a lot, you know? Like, I just feel like they just don't understand. And I feel like it's not their job to understand. I feel like it's your job as a parent to make sure that you're mentally there for them, regardless whatever you're going through. That's just how I feel about the situation. I feel like, you know, at the end of the day, they depend on you. They rely on you for everything. And I feel like, especially if you don't have like another supportive parent, like the parent that you birthed the child with, if they're not very supportive and, you know, just a type of person where just they would use everything that you're going through as a way of like manipulating, or, you know, trying to make it seem like, you know, you don't want to be a mom anymore type of thing. You know, sometimes you just have to like, you know, bite the bullet, even when it's just, you know, even, you know, it's just, you know, this is what it is. Like, so, you know, and I just know, I just shut down, you know, I just be shutting down. And, you know, I don't know, like lately, I think as time goes and I'm older, I just kind of, you know, deal with things on my own, you know. And a lot of things that I've been going through is just more in the sense of like, I don't know, just like, I guess I'm just too hard on myself. Like, I just feel like a lot of things that's going on around me and like in life is, those are, you know, I'm an adult. I feel like a lot of things are the decisions that I make. I kind of feel like a lot of things that happens to me is because of my fault. It's the decisions that I make. It's the decisions that, you know, irrational decisions that I make. You know, I just don't, you know, I just feel like it's just a lot of things that I just don't, ooh, this is hard. You know, just a lot of things that I just don't, you know, I think for you to change whatever you have going on, you have to make the change first. And I feel like it came to me that if I want better when it comes to like my life and career wise, I have to actually do something about it. I can't really like complain about it. I have to take the initiative. I have to do the right things first. I feel like I'm a firm believer in God. You know, I always put God first in every decision that I make. And you know, being a parent, you have to, you know, make sure that you provide for your kids. And, you know, I just feel like mentally, you know, sometimes I feel like I'm not a good enough mom. I just feel like sometimes I'm just not doing enough. But, you know, the people that is around me say I do too much, you know, as a mom. People around me say that I do way more than what is needed as being a mom. And I don't see it like that. I feel like I'm not doing enough. Like, I just feel like we should be, you know, in a better, I feel like I should have accomplished a lot of my goals and my dreams by now. But also too, I kind of put a lot of things to the back burner because I either don't want to deal with it. And this is more just in career wise. I feel like I've always, in career, I always try to find a shortcut avenue in life because I just don't want to deal with it. Like, I just feel like I always try to find a shortcut for everything. Like, I don't know, I'm just like that. Like, I don't like to deal. Like, I just want to do a shortcut. Especially when it comes to careers. Like, I just feel like, why do I need to go to school for this when, you know, I don't have to go to school for it? If I don't have to go to school for it, why do I need to go to school for it? And I'm learning in life that sometimes you may just have to go to school. You may just have to go to school for it. You may just have to, you know, if you want to be here, you know, there's no shortcuts. You have to go to school. So I've made a decision in my life at the age that I am, and I'm older. I'm in my 30s. But I can't, you know, that I am going back to school. And I'm going to nursing school, you know. I'm going to nursing school to be an LPN because the career avenue that I want to take is that I have to either be an RN or LPN in order for me to get in that field quicker than what I want. And I made the decision to do that. Am I kind of nervous of going back to school after almost 20 years? Yes. I went to college. I played in college. I played in college. When I went off to school to school, I didn't take it serious. I didn't take it, you know, valuable. I partied. Once I started like getting a hang of like the party life, I started partying. I started hanging out. I started not going to class. I got onto academic probation to the point that they didn't want to fund me no more. they didn't want to, they didn't want to fund me no more. So I had to come back home, you know? And that's my fault, because back then, you know, I was young and I had a, I don't care, you know, I don't care, I do whatever I want mentality. And I had that mentality for a very long time until I got into my 30s. Like, when I was in my 20s, I kind of just, like, you know, I had this thing that, YOLO, like, I do what I want, like, party bullshit. You know, I grew up in, you know, Broward County, and I grew up in Miami-Dade County. Like, I grew up in both counties, you know. I grew up in a different atmosphere where, you know, it's the motto, you get it how you live, you know? So that was my motto, you know, get it how you live, you know? But I kind of feel like that motto kind of like set me back a lot in life. I feel like I wasn't around people that wanted to do things in life, you know? I was around this, you know, like they say, you flock what you keep the company that you are. And that's what I'm going to say. You keep the company that you are. And that's what I did. I kept the company that I was. And I feel like a lot of that stuff plays in my mind. And I feel like it gets me to the point. I feel like I get so hard on myself where I become depressed. And I feel like I could have been so much farther in life. You know, I could have been far. And I feel like it's my fault that at the age that I am, I'm complaining about things that I feel like I could have prevented, because if I would have just followed the path that I was supposed to follow. But I feel like in the way of God, I feel like God put you in certain positions and things like that. I'm grateful that I'm able to sustain, you know, a home, you know, the basics, but I want more. You know, I want more. I want more. I want more, you know. I want to be successful. I don't want to be in a position where all I know is like a job. Like, I want more. Like, I want more out of life, you know. I just want so much more. I want to, you know, so, and what I want to do, I have to go to school, so I'm just going to school. So I think mentally, I'm mentally upset that it's finally clicked after the age that I am, that I gotta change. If I want something done, I gotta go do it. And I guess I'm growing in time. I guess I'm more, you know, the more older I get, the more I mature in life, you know. And I'm okay with that, you know. I guess I'm okay with it. I'm not sure, but I'm just growing mentally. And, you know, I'm trying to be the best parent, the best person, the best version of me that I can be, you know. I kind of disconnect from people after a while because, you know, I just don't like certain stuff. Like, I don't like being around foolery. Like, if I feel like it's foolery to me, I don't want to be bothered. Like, so, and that being said, I just, you know, I just wanted to come and vent about that because, you know, I just, you know, sometimes, I don't know, because somebody else could be going through it mentally and, you know, they just don't know how to express. Usually, I'm the type of person, I like to stay to myself and just think and just, you know, think about a plan, think about, you know, my next move. But something told me to come on here. And also, too, I've been trying to get my social media, you know, I've been trying to be more open as, you know, social media. You know, I'm the type of person, I live a private life. Like, I may not be a nobody, but I live a private life. Like, I don't like people knowing my business. Like, I feel like people that know your business always uses it against you. I've learned that, you know, no tea, no shade. I learned that having a baby daddy. But, you know, I'm just saying. But, oh, my hair. But, you know, to somebody else, I probably said a bunch of nothing. But to me, this was great for me to like check in. Let me know if you want to know more information about the bariatric surgery. Let me know, because I do have a lot to say about that. And I just, you know, you want to know more about that, and, you know, tell me how I did in this video also too, because I would love to get pointers on staying connected with audience and things like that, because I really don't know. You know, the content creating life, you know, I love watching YouTube. Like, when I tell you I love watching YouTube, I love watching other families and stuff like that. And it's very hard to, you know, it's very hard to engage. So I love watching other people. So I would love to just let me know, because I have a bunch of videos and things like that that I would like to. So I mean, I love that I just expressed myself. I'm feeling a little bit better, because these past couple of days it's been like an emotional roller coaster. And, you know, I just feel like, you know, me doing my hair and, you know, sitting down and having this conversation, I feel like it's great, because, you know, I feel like it's great for me, and it might have been good for somebody else. All right, thank you for watching. I'm going to finish my hair, but I'm going to post it in the end. So